Question: should Jacinda Ardern and Chris Hipkins be prosecuted for criminal offences? Very recently, New Zealand awarded Jacinda Ardern one of the country's highest honours, making the former Prime Minister a dame for her service to the country. That in itself is a total joke, but worse still, in my opinion, she should have been prosecuted instead, as should Chris Hipkins and other government MPs for continuing some of Ardern's policies. There are several policies in question, but let's just consider only one obvious policy, a rather stupid experimental socialist policy, haphazardly reducing the prison population. Ardern, and subsequently Hipkins, were fortuitously elected outright in 2020 because of the public's genuine fear of the COVID-19 virus. But the Labour government then went on to take full advantage of the situation, and introduce radical far-left woke policies which they never discussed with the public beforehand, and were therefore never elected to implement in the first place. For example, reducing the prison population. Who on earth in their right mind would agree to such a ridiculous policy? Because of this unelected policy, people not only live in fear again, some people have had their lives turned totally upside down for the worse, have lost their livelihoods, have lost all of their savings, have been beaten up, have been mutilated, and have even been murdered. All for the sake of a failed experimental socialist policy. Surely, this is a prima facie case of gross professional negligence. Why have Ardern, Hipkins and other MPs not been charged with manslaughter? The government never mentions anything about the people who had equally sad childhoods, which were full of hardship, misery and violence. But these people grew up perfectly fine and never broke the law. Would it not be better to reward these people who had it tough but never broke the law, than to reward the ones who fell by the wayside and became criminals? Letting criminals out of prison is an unelected political experiment which has clearly gone wrong, resulting in the mutilation and murder of law-abiding Kiwi citizens, should in itself be a criminal offence, resulting in Jacinda Ardern, Chris Hipkins and several other MPs being prosecuted for manslaughter. Why are politicians exempt from prosecution when their political agenda negligence leads to the death of innocent hard-working law-abiding Kiwi citizens? Thank you for listening. WhangareiTim on behalf of WhangareiTim.